Today we're going to talk about a drama-free process to settling probate estate in Tennessee. Settling the estate of your loved one can be overwhelming, and having a dramatic beneficiary definitely will not help. Here's how to avoid that when becoming the personal representative of an estate. Hi, I'm Scott Hines. My team and I have been helping executors, administrators, and trustees with homes in probate here in Tennessee for many years. So we put together this list for you to help with settling an estate as drama-free as possible. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell button to be notified of my weekly future videos. You've got a lot on your plate to begin settling an estate as drama-free as possible. You need to go through the deceased personal belongings, make an inventory of their assets, get the probate started with the probate court, and go through the whole probate process, and also deal with the grief that comes along with losing a loved one. We put together 7 steps on how to deal with difficult beneficiaries and avoid all the unnecessary drama in the first place. Number 1, let's make sure everyone understands the timeline when settling an estate. A big issue that pops up over and over again is a misunderstanding of how long it actually takes to get through the probate process of settling an estate in Tennessee. People underestimate how long it can take. For example, probate can last from 6 months to 12 months under normal conditions and longer if things get complicated. Number 2, beneficiaries might think that once the will, if there is one, is submitted and approved, their inheritance will show up in their bank account in no time. It's really important to manage these expectations from the very beginning and make sure everyone understands that it will take many months to a year before the beneficiaries see even a cent from their inheritance. Because settling an estate in Tennessee is a very slow process. Be upfront and tell beneficiaries that they should understand that it could be a year before the estate is settled and you can release most of the proceeds to them. Number 3, to keep the settling an estate as drama-free as possible, be transparent and keep everyone informed. You might not think twice about only checking in a couple of times with the beneficiaries before everything is finalized and the estate has been settled. But for beneficiaries, this could read as a huge red flag. Put yourself in their shoes. They have no idea what's going on. They don't know that you're waiting to hear back from probate court or that you're stuck in settling an estate's bureaucratic nonsense because no one told you that you need to submit that one form 3 times to 3 different offices. They just feel like the person entrusted with managing their inheritance has gone missing, so keep them informed. Number 4, be open with beneficiaries, and checking in with them as much as you can will lend transparency to an often complicated process and help the beneficiaries to trust you. Tell them if you're encountering obstacles, such as delay in selling the loved one's home or other assets. Explain on a very high level how to settle an estate process and the next steps that you'll be taking. Beneficiaries will appreciate you letting them in on the process and keeping them informed. Number 5, in the plan is to keep things as drama-free as possible, and that is to explain the laws to them. Perhaps it makes total sense to you that you have certain rights and obligations as an executor or administrator, including the right to liquidate assets and use funds in the estate to pay for the bills, or even the executor and administrators are entitled to be compensated. Here in Tennessee, the compensation is based on what's called statutory fees, but it's very likely that the beneficiaries don't know this. You'll save yourself and them a lot of headaches down the line if you sit them down at the beginning of the settling and explain to them exactly what you as an administrator or executor are entitled to do and why. Number 7 in this process is to be respectful and compassionate. You may be grieving, and so are they. Perhaps you're trying to pay off debt by selling off some of the estate's items, but a few of the objects may have intense sentimental value for one or more of the beneficiaries. Make sure to check in and ask what items they want to keep and what's important to them. Even better, have them sign off on addressing the personal property or liquidation plan. Try to remember that everyone is dealing with a lot of intense emotions and sometimes some mistrust. So to keep things as drama-free as possible, do your best to be compassionate of their grieving process. Finally, and this is very important, you need to keep detailed records of everything. It's an awful feeling if a beneficiary loses trust in you and starts questioning your role in settling the estate. This can be particularly tricky if you're getting compensated. And believe me, you deserve to be compensated for your duties through the complicated process of settling the estate. In order to avoid any additional tensions, make sure you keep meticulous records of everything. We're talking about every request sent to officials, every list drawn up of assets, every receipt, every email, and every communication with banks and insurance agents. Make notes after any phone calls that you make or receive. The more detailed your notes, the more you can reassure beneficiaries that you've done your due diligence throughout the entire settling an estate process. Dealing with the estate of a loved one can be challenging and emotionally charged. If you are working with difficult beneficiaries, it can be even more overwhelming. I hope you found this information valuable. I'm Scott Hines, a real estate broker in beautiful Tennessee. My family and I have been assisting executors, administrators, and trustees with properties in probate for many years. If you find yourself facing the Tennessee probate process, remember that we're here to simplify your journey. Our company is a family-based Christian organization with 3 generations of realtor expertise. Our approach is to combine the highest level of both probate expertise and real estate experience in a caring and compassionate manner. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and watch the next video in the series. Please also feel free to download my book, A Guide to Selling Tennessee Homes in Probate, with the link provided below. Thank you so much.